Lesson learned, don't play Shatter Freminet. Alright, I was wrong about Shatter. Kind of. So if you guys didn't see my previous video, basically I played a Shatter Freminet team where I went fully M Freminet and just played for Shatter damage. And basically throughout the video, I kind of just bashed the Shatter reaction entirely. It said it was trash and that you shouldn't play it. And I got quite a few comments basically telling me that I was either playing the team wrong or playing the wrong team, which, first of all, I really appreciate it. Thank you all for the comments. I like the community discussion. It's always nice to see that. So, I will admit, I did not explain myself very well in the video. The point of the whole video was to use just Shatter, and a lot of the teams in the comments also featured other reactions. But I think a lot of the teams that you guys showed were actually really cool and worth showcasing in their own video, showing how Shatter can work if it's used alongside other reactions or just played slightly differently. So, that is what we are going to be doing today. We are going to cover all the teams that you guys showed me in the comments, and then also there is one team that I came up with recently that I think utilizes Shatter a bit better than the one from the previous video. So I will also show that team at the end, so make sure you stick around for that. And I must confess, this is not the first time I recorded this video, because basically I was having some problems with my previous recording software, and then I downloaded a new recording software, and the first recording I did on that software corrupted, and I lost it, unfortunately. So I'm an idiot, I'm sorry, and unfortunately it's gonna slightly lower the quality of how this video was meant to work, because initially it was my first reactions on these teams that you guys sent, but it's been 2 days now since that first recording, and I kind of have already formulated my opinion on all the teams, so I apologize for that. Now, moving right into the first team, we have this one from the comments, which I've been walking around with when I was recording the intro, with this Kaveh Bloom team. So, like I said, the first recording was 2 days ago, and when I recorded it, I was like, oh, this is a cool team, and it ended up being my favorite from the video. And since then, I've actually been playing it in Overworld, and I really like this team. So, big shout out to this guy from the comments section. You cooked, my brother. So, basically the way this team works is, since Kaveh has a Claymore and Dendro Infusion on his attacks, he can Shatter and he can Bloom. It's Shatterbloom. That's what it is. Unfortunately, my Kaveh is lacking this, which will make it even better, which makes me kind of sad, but it still is really fun without C6, so I'm going to show it off real quick for you guys and explain why I like it so much. And another thing to note is that the way that the team is set up is the core is these three. Where are they? This dude, and this dude. This is the core of the team. Now, I was running Nahida because I wanted to do just Shatterbloom, but you can run like a Cookie, because even though Kaveh is a Bloom buffer, you don't have to play just Bloom. You can use Hyperbloom and just use his Dendro Infusion as a driver for the comp. That works perfectly fine. But Hyperbloom in a Shatter team is something that I'm going to cover later in this video, so that is why I've gone with Nahida. Just wanted to put that out there in case you guys do end up playing this team, and I do recommend actually trying this team out, because unlike the other Shatter teams, I think this team is actually viable. Granted, it still suffers the same problem of the enemy needs to be freezable, but it's slightly less bad because it still has the core of a Dendro team, so you can play just the Bloom against unfreezable enemies if, you know, you lose a little damage without having Shatter, but it's still quite solid. So, we're going to go ahead and showcase it real quick. I'm not going to go throughout the whole Abyss because we're covering 4 teams in this video, and I don't want to make the video too long, so we're just going to cover probably just the first enemy, just so you can see how the team works. Although with this team, I might do the whole first chamber, just because I really like this team. So, this is how it works. We have Freeze plus Kaveh Blooms plus Shatter. So it's a Fridge team that also shatters, and it's really cool to watch all of the numbers everywhere. Now if you do want to play this team, the Kaveh build is, you can go Gilded Dreams or you can go the Bloom set. Gilded Dream will give you more shatter damage, Bloom set will give you more bloom damage. Both of them are fine. What's the Bloom set called? Flower of something something. That one. But I think I'm on the Bloom set right now because I don't have enough Gilded sets to be playing this in Overworld. That being said, as you can see, the damage is... I mean, it's definitely not crazy, but it's a respectable amount of damage. Especially considering my Kaveh is level 80, not maxed, which will actually matter in a team with 2 transformative reactions that he's triggering. And as you can see, even without Nahida on these guys, we're still getting quite a few blooms and shatters. So that's why I was saying earlier you can hyper bloom as well if you want. Let's go ahead and finish this out. You can see 20k shatters, 10k blooms or so, and we're getting Xingqiu personal damage and Kaya's personal damage. Just all around, lots of colorful numbers on the screen, and I love colorful numbers, so this is a good time, this team. And so my first recording, I rated all the teams, and I gave this one a 7 out of 10, but after playing this for 2 days now, I must say this team is a solid 9 out of 10. Not in strength. In strength, it's probably more like a 6. However, fun factor, hard carries this team. It is so fun to play. And I get to use Kaveh, who I've literally never used. In the last video, the one that corrupted, I had to go and build Kaveh mid-video to make the team work so I could show it off. But I do not regret a single thing. So, once again, thank you to this person from the comments. Your team gets a big double thumbs up from me. So now for the next team, we have, as I mentioned earlier, Hypershatter. So Hypershatter is Shatter, so we're going to be playing the Freminet, and it is Hyperbloom. So rather than solely having Shatter damage, we have Hyperbloom damage, we have Superconduct damage, and we have Shatter damage. So it is quite similar to the Kaveh team, except we will be running a different driver, and we will be running Kuki instead of Kaya. So this is the team. I probably need to rebuild all these guys. So the build on Freminet is the same one that we ran in the previous video. Fully M, Favonius for energy. And then the only difference is the team. We are running Hyperbloom. So we chucked in a Dendro. And yeah, it's standard builds on everyone. Deepwood, Flower, what's his normal set? Emblem. And the way this team works is, well, not what you'd expect. It's a Hyperbloom team, but we've got Freminet here, so we're doing some shatters. Now, oh my god, I hate this enemy. So with this team, it's basically just a normal Hyperbloom team, because the standard Hyperbloom team is just the core of Hyperbloomer, Dendro, and Hydro. So we have those three. And then the third slot in standard Hyperbloom is pretty flexible. In this case, we're just taking, that fourth slot, not third slot. In this case, we're just taking the fourth slot and making it a Cryo Blunt Attacker so that we can get a few shatters. Not a ton of shatters, but there's some shatters in there. Basically just using him as a driver. In terms of fun, this team is quite boring. It's just Hyperbloom. I do think it's a fun take on Hyperbloom, but Hyperbloom is just generally a boring comp in my opinion. But viability, it's probably more viable than the previous Kaveh one. It's not really a very special team. It's not really, oh guys, look, I'm using the shatter buffs. It's more like I'm playing Hyperbloom and Freminet's here, which is a cool little flex to be able to say, yeah, I 36 started with Freminet. So, that's that team. Not as good as the Kaveh one overall. Strength-wise, definitely better, but including fun factor and stuff, it's slightly lower, but easy to build, pretty strong because it's a Hyperbloom team. So that's probably the most viable team you're going to see in this video. So if you do want to play Shatter, check that team out maybe. And thank you to this person in the comments as well for sharing this team with me. Now, I got multiple comments telling me Freminet is fine, you just need to play him as a physical carry rather than Shatter. And this is true, physical Freminet is fine, but, well, physical kind of sucks, but he's about as good as you're going to get from a physical character. However, it doesn't really use Shatter, which was kind of the whole point of the previous video. That being said, I will still showcase it. So this person mentioned a specific team, so we're going to use this one. Unfortunately, I don't have Shan Yun, so I can't do that one that they shared, but I can do the first one. Basically, with the Shatter buffs, what it gives Freminet is it gives him slightly more value from EM substats than he did have before. It's kind of like, maybe think of it like playing Aggravate Kaching, where you mostly go attack and crit, but you still get some value from EM, having EM, so it's just kind of made his build slightly more flexible. I must say my physical artifacts are garbage. So in terms of properly showcasing the team, this is not great. So like, I have 0 elemental mastery, so I can't even really show the Shatter part. My crit damage is bad, it's tough. So what I'm doing is I have Diona here as part of the team, which was mentioned in the comment. I am giving her a elegy, and she has C6, so that way Freminet is getting a little bit of EM from her, so you can see the slightly increased Shatter damage. Now once again, my physical build is bad. I'm just putting it out there. So this is not going to be the most accurate showcase of how much the team can do. You can see my numbers are pretty bad. But I wanted to show it because quite a few people in the comments mentioned it. The lad Freminet can do just fine as a physical carry. You just need to actually invest in your physical artifacts, which I don't exactly do. So let's finish this guy off real quick. Oh, he's dead. So yeah, that's that team. I am very sorry to all the Freminet mains for not building your character correctly, because I did him dirty. So yeah, physical Freminet, it's fine. Not really what I was going for, but it works. I just personally don't like physical very much in this game because most of the fun in the game comes from reactions, and physical is the absence of a reaction. So yeah, that's that. Let's move on to the final team, which is one that I found, and it is utilizing a similar mechanic to the Thundering Furry Razor team, which basically, when Razor ults, he slashes with his sword and his JoJo stand. So he's doing electro damage and physical damage, or whatever you might infuse his attacks with. So C6 Bandit will be pyro damage. It will apply both of those at once, so you're looking at lots of reactions basically. In the case of Thundering Furry, he's applying Pyro and Electro in the same attack, so you're getting Overload, you're getting Burning, you're getting Burgeon, you're getting Hyperbloom, you're getting Electro Charged, Quicken, everything. In this case, we will not be infusing him with anything, and we're just going to use the Physical Slash to Shatter, and the Electro Slash for Superconduct. So it's kind of like a... oh my god, it's like Shatterconduct? That sounds like a good name. And it is as follows. We have Razor, we have some Hydro, we have some Cryo, and we have a flexible final slot. In this case, I will run Diona once again for some sustain, and for that elegy and her C6 EM. Now this team is definitely weaker than the previous team shown in the video because it doesn't utilize Bloom or Hyper Bloom, which are just broken. But oh, I don't know if my Razor's built, guys. Hold up 1 second. Alright, the build is Gilded Dreams, Vav, pretty standard. Just driver razor things. Also, when I was setting up that build, I realized in the physical Freminet build, I didn't give him, he still had an EM hat, so sorry about that, but I ain't going back to fix it. And here we go. Oh, I canceled my attack. As you can see, we're getting 30k shatters or so, plus some decent superconducts. So the damage is significantly better than the Freminet Shatter team I was using. While still being a primarily Shatter-based team. Get back here. Still hate this enemy. He goes unfreezable. Very cringe. As you can see, when the shatters are hit, they're hitting good. It's just kind of hard to utilize it because of how Shatter works as a whole with the... I complained about it enough in the previous video. If you want to hear me talking about why Shatter's bad, you can watch that. But this is a much more viable way of playing it. So if you want to play Soul Shatter without the blooms and stuff from earlier, try this team out. It's fun. It's pretty strong. For at least as far as Shatter can be. But that's it. But that's enough of that. And yeah, that's all we got for this video. Just those 4 teams. Once again, I really appreciate all the comments. This was pretty fun little follow-up video to make with all the teams that you guys showed me. And yeah, all of these teams are much more viable than the ones from the previous video, so definitely consider trying them for yourself. But yeah, that's about all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed, leave a like, comment what you thought of the video, and share it with your friends, all that good stuff. All of that helps me know that you guys are enjoying this so that I can keep working on this kind of stuff, because I really enjoy it. So thank you all so much. And yeah, have a good one. Goodbye.